Hey folks, today there is once again a knife-related video. When it comes to sharpening knives, I am certainly not a professional. In the past, I've used these whetstones, and let me put it this way, I achieved rather mediocre results with those. This is mainly because with these grindstones the movement must always be at exactly the same angle. And this requires a lot of practice. So I bought this inexpensive sharpening kit for about $40, which promises to be suitable even for beginners, because it always keeps the same angle and guides the sharpening motion. Whether it is any good and for which knives it can be used, I will show you in this video. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. This set is called Rihu Pro and comes packed in a bag directly from China. The heart of the sharpener is this clamping device to which all other parts are screwed and attached. Included in my set are 4 normal sharpening stones and 4 stones with a diamond coating. And then there are 2 more with a very fine grit. And also this one with a leather strap and some polishing paste. These 2 rods are for adjusting the sharpening angle and for guiding the sharpening motion. The ball bearing used here is low quality, and when I have some time I will replace it with something better. This is the stone holder in which the sharpening stones are clamped. The stones are then held in place by the spring. The device is made for mounting it to the edge of a table. But since I want to use the knife sharpener in the center of my table, I had to screw together a few pieces of wood on which I can mount the clamp. The rod for adjusting the grinding angle is screwed to the clamp. The ball bearing guide for the fixture of the sharpening stones is mounted on it. This can then be screwed on at the end, and the whole thing is tightened with a counter pressure screw. Before you can start with the sharpening, the stones have to soak in water for some time. I have left them about 15 minutes in it. The stones have different grit numbers which is written on them. The higher the number, the finer the grain. The placement of the stones is easy and 2 stones can be clamped at once. The first knife I want to sharpen is this one. A small kitchen knife, which has become quite dull over time. I think you see what I mean. The knife is screwed into the clamp and I paint the cutting surface of the blade. This helps me find the right sharpening angle. I first roughly set the angle by sight, and check after the first sharpening motions to see if the black paint on the cutting surface is evenly removed. I use each stone about 1 minute, but I've shortened that here in this video. And so I work my way to the finer grits. The change of stones must be made several times, and it goes through the quick clamping system very easily and quickly. The rotating clamping fixture allows the knife to be turned over without hassle to sharpen the other side at the same set angle. Again, I go from the roughest grit to the finest. I test the sharpness on a folded piece of paper, and note the smoothness of the cutting and also how clean or rough the cut is. And I am quite happy with the result. Next I try the whole thing with this larger kitchen knife. I make sure that I align the cutting surface, so that it is more or less at right angles to the guided sharpening motion. The quality of the sharpener is not the best, and with a larger knife the handling becomes a bit more wobbly. I'm certainly not a professional, I just try to perform my sharpening motion evenly with little pressure and work my way along the entire cutting surface several times. When I change stones, I spray them with a little water to keep them moist. With this knife, I now also use the polishing stones with a grit of 3000 and 5000, which is pretty fine. I forgot to use these on the small knife. When sharpening, the finer the grain gets, you can clearly feel how the resistance becomes less and less. With these polishing stones you hardly feel any abrasion. The result, I think, can be seen. And I did not want to stop cutting the sheet over and over. Now I want to see if I can get this survival knife sharp. It is made of very hard and high quality 690 Böhler steel. The angle of the edge is slightly larger than with kitchen knives, which makes it less sharp, but it stays sharp for longer that way. I use it mainly for splitting wood, and it is my daily companion when I am out in the woods. It has a very wide blade of 5.2 millimeters and I barely get it into the clamp. So, an even thicker blade would not work with this sharpener. Because of the hardness of the steel, I now need these diamond sharpening stones. And I mark the cutting surface, because now I have to adjust the angle of the sharpening again. Already by the noise you can hear that I use a very rough grit with a lot of abrasion here. This is good if you have a bump in the blade, otherwise I would just regrind with the finer grits on this knife. I also sprayed these stones with a little water, but I'm not sure if that is necessary with diamond sharpening stones. If you know more about this, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm definitely happy with the result. As I said, I use the knife mainly as a tool for splitting wood, but of course it's nice to be able to cut well with it. By the way, if you want to see how I built the Kydex sheath of this knife, there is a video that I link at the end. The knife handle is also self-made. You can also find a video about it on my channel. So far I have the bushcraft knife, the small, as well as the large kitchen knife sharpened, and am very satisfied with the result. Now let's see if I can use it to get a pair of scissors sharp too. Well, the angle is too small and sharpening any scissors is therefore not possible with this kit. I may do some upgrades in a future video to fix the biggest shortcomings of the device and make it suitable for sharpening scissors too, but out of the box, it can't do it. Finally, I want to see if I can get this kitchen cleaver sharp. I have owned it for over 20 years and it has cut up an endless amount of pizzas in this time. Since I need a longer sharpening motion for this, I set the end stop of the guide rod a little longer. This prevents pulling the sharpening stone too far across the blade and damaging it with the metal parts at the end of the stone holder. And again, I set the angle by using the edging method. By the way, you can also do this using an electric water gauge on your smartphone. For me, however, it is the easier way to do it like this. For the low price I am very pleased with this device, even if the quality of some parts could be better. It is also advertised among other things that you can sharpen scissors with it, but that is not the case. Furthermore, only knives with a straight edge can be sharpened. So, knives like this one do not work. And there you have it. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see me upgrade the low quality parts of the device, let me know in the comments and I'll see what I can do. If you want to see more videos about similar projects, you are welcome to subscribe to the channel. Take care and see you next time. Knife. Sharpening. Stone.